Okay, so hopefully so far so good. You will have configured this side now, and everything, just to test, should be able to ping everything else. You may not be able to ping down here just yet because we have no static routes or default routes in, but you should be able to ping across these networks, and this should be able to ping down to here, and likewise. Okay, this time we are going to apply DHCP to these routers, and we're going to add in some other bits and pieces. So I'm going to make a quick change and bring the PCs over from just off the screen here, so that they're ready to go. Back in 2 secs. And as if by magic, a load of PCs turn up. Okay, so I'm going to connect these up quickly. They're all pre-configured with DHCP. I'm going to plug PC0 into one port at one end of the thing, and I'm going to plug this into the next, likewise and likewise, until all are connected. So using ports 2 and 3 on each one. Now this is important for a later packet tracer nugget, where we will be applying port security, and we will secure those ports so that no other PCs can be plugged into them. Okay, so full connectivity. Remember, each port is 2 and 3. Okay, I'm going to configure the London router this time, and your job will be to configure the Manchester router. Okay, continue on. I'm just going to exit out of this because it's where I left off last time. And the command I need is IP DHCP pool. Oh, sorry, forgot to add the pool name. The first pool I want to create on this router is for the accounts, so I'm going to call it accounts. And now I'm actually configuring my pool. I need to tell it what IP addresses to use, and it's going to use the addresses in this range, the first range here with the /26. So it's going to use the network 192.168.11.0, and with a subnet mask of 255.255.255.192, which gives me 64 IP addresses. I need to tell it how to get out of the network, so these PCs will learn how to leave their network, and this will be done using a default gateway. So default router is the command, and we set up the default router as 192.168.11, and it was the first interface, so it was 1. And I can apply things like DNS servers. If I bring up the question mark command, I can apply DNS servers and other information. On this particular network we don't have one, so we're not worried at the moment. Okay, so that pool is now applying, hopefully, DHCP addresses down to these, and I'm going to exit out of it and create my second pool. So IP DHCP pool, and this time it's going to be for this network over here, which is the admin pool. And again, tell them what network to use, and the network is 192.168.22.0, subnet mask 255.255.255.192. It has a default router of 192.168.22.1, and again we're not going to apply other settings. Just going to close this down, open a PC, and have a quick look at its command prompt. IP config tells me it has this, doesn't have a default gateway, so it learnt this information after that I applied once I started the pool. So I just need a IP config / release to release all the IP addresses, and then renew, and you should see a default gateway appear on this one, so it now knows how to leave its network. You will, unfortunately, because they were linked up and live, need to do this, but you can just do ipconfig / renew, and that should flush each one as it goes. And on your admin, flash renew, and you can see these are learning from the 22 pool. And there we go, they're all learning the IP addresses for DHCP. Quick look at the router. Exit out of this just so that I can do a show running configuration. And we have our IP DHCP pools here. And if I just press the enter to bring it up, first port is now called accounts, and it runs on this network and has the default router here. And this one has the admin port that runs on this, and these correspond with the interfaces that are using the fast Ethernet ports that are using them. Okay, one last thing I forgot to show you. I'm just going to go in to enable config terminal. If we scroll back up on this one, you'll see I have my pools, but I have already used the first address for my interfaces. So I need to exclude those addresses from the interface, and this is done by the command IP DHCP exclude address, and I want to exclude address 192.168.11.1. I can use my up arrow and just repeat the 22.1. Now if I exit and show my running config again, I have my excluded addresses here, so that means that there shouldn't be any problems. It should never try to hand out the interface addresses of the fast Ethernet 0 and fast Ethernet 01. So we shouldn't have any conflicts there. Your job, repeat this configuration over here. Remember, you are advertising different networks, and you are using similar interfaces. Just make sure you get the pools run the right way so they're named correctly.